This is a Genomics Integrated Wellness System discussion of the genome and genetic markers as provided for by the Genomics Integrated Wellness System software solution. As you can see, we can provide for one or many genetic marker and genome test per patient. In this particular example, we'll be looking at genome test number 1 for our notional patient. Our information is divided into metadata and chromosome data. Within metadata, we are going to examine the ability to test once per year, once every 5 or 7 years. We have genome tests themselves, who provides the test and what type of test is it. We also identify the genetic marker or genome testing laboratory from around the world. We also have provisions to identify the date. We also have provisions to identify all of the genome testing raw material from the actual laboratory. We also have information for the current genetic markers as identified for the specific genome test for a particular patient. In this particular case, we have identified chromosome number 1, chromosome number 7, chromosome number 20 as having genetic markers that have been identified. Within chromosome number 1, we have the various genetic markers, their description, the expression level, and the identification date for a particular genetic marker. We also identify, is a genetic marker available for study? In other words, can we do something about the genetic marker? Let's move to chromosome number 7 as having been identified with another genetic marker. In this case, Barth syndrome has been identified with its expression level and the identification date. Please note that a genetic marker can occur on one or many chromosomes. Our system provides for the identification and the expression level for chromosomes on one or many chromosomes. And then we'll scroll down to chromosome number 27. In this particular example, muscular dystrophy, Down syndrome, and Fabry disease have been identified as being genetic markers on chromosome number 20, their respective expression levels and identification date. Let's scroll up, toggle this piece of information closed, and let us proceed to genetic marker tests. This is a reference material for all genetic marker tests being currently used within the Genomics Integrated Wellness System software solution. We can toggle this closed. We can look at the polymorphism type as required. Lots of information for reference material. Toggle this closed. We can also look at the disorder cause and the disorder type. Again, information that is available for clinicians and researchers. Let's toggle these closed. We also provide a pop-up listing of all genetic markers that have been identified within the Genomics Integrated Wellness System software solution. I can scroll down, and as you can see, we have lots of information. Let us scroll back up. For genetic markers, their respective description, chromosomes that have been identified as containing the specific genetic marker, the marker location, the disorder type, the disorder cause, the polymorphism type, and the genetic test that's typically employed to identify a specific genetic marker. This is the metadata for a specific genome test for a particular patient. Let us navigate to chromosomes. As you can see, there's a lot of information for the genetic markers that are contained on the chromosomes. We have parsed individual chromosomes into their own individual forms. We have information regarding the actual chromosomes that you can identify as a clinician, the respective expression level, and the date that a particular genetic marker was identified. We can look at other chromosomes. In this particular case, chromosome number 7. We can look at chromosome MT. We can look at all chromosomes if you so desire. Let's navigate to chromosome number 1. As you can see, we have all information available for the identification of the genetic marker, the expression level, and the date of the expression level. we can also have an additional reference for genetic marker information. We also provide, again, video instructions. We also have information on eEnsemble, which is a website that has detailed information on the specific genetic markers. We can look at the information, identify it. I have preloaded a particular section of the information for chromosome number 1, and as you can see, we can navigate down and drill down to the level of detail as required for a particular chromosome. Information can be selected at random. Information can be identified for the information that is needed by the clinician or the practitioner for the identification of genetic markers and the like. Quite extensive, quite available, and quite useful for the clinician. Let us close this particular form and close this particular form. Again, genetic marker information. We can provide one or many genetic marker tests per patient. We can look at individual chromosomes. We can identify the actual genetic marker as having been identified via the genetic marker test from the laboratories, the current expression level, the date, and all the metadata information necessary for the genetic marker test and the specific genome test for a patient as it occurs. This has been a Genomics Integrated Wellness Systems discussion of the human genome and genetic marker identification within our Genomics Integrated Wellness Systems web-based software solution. Thank you.